Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, fueled by Gatorade. Tennessee River on this Saturday in June. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Game 2 of a 3-game series. Game 2 of the day as well from Jim Frost Stadium on the University of Tennessee Chattanooga campus. And it's the Talons and the Blaze. Great to have you with us from here in Chattanooga, along with two-time All-American pitcher Kinsey Fowler and Mark Neely. 14-12 Talons was the earlier game that finished up just about a half hour ago. Have you been able to wrap your head around what we saw earlier?
No, I have never seen anything like that, where the Talons were up 12-1. We have the rain delay. It was just an offensive game. Blaze comes back, ties it, 29 hits. That's incredible. I don't know if we'll see that again.
Well, if you missed any of that, we can catch you up to speed here quickly because it was a wild affair. First inning, Talons got out to a big, quick 4-0 lead. Hannah Flippen with a home run, 3-run blast. And they would get up by a score of 12-1. This base hit here by Aguilar would score Sierra Sacco. It was 12-1 Talons, and then the skies opened up, and we had not quite an hour rain delay. And when we came back, Kinsey, it was a whole different game, and Bailey Klingler with this base hit here tied the game at 12.
Yeah, so this was a game of two halves. You have the first half, which was all Talons, and the second half, which was all Blaze. But wait until the last swing, the biggest swing of the game. It was tied at this point, 12-12. Sydney Romero off of another Oklahoma superstar, so a little bit of sooner on sooner crime, and that was the swing that won the game for the Talons.
And as you mentioned, 29 combined hits. The losing team in the game, the Blaze, actually had 17 hits to 12 for the Talons. Klingler, in a losing effort, was outstanding as she had 4 hits, 7 RBIs. But the Blaze came all the way back to tie it at 12, and they fall by 2. So let's take a look at the lineups for the Talons, with Flippen hitting that 3-run home run in the first inning of the first game, and that was one of her 3 hits. The Blaze are just about ready to take the field. Another interesting finisher to that first game is that the starting pitchers we expected here for game 2, that being Kaylani Ricketts for the Blaze and Montana Fouts for the Talons, each finished the game in the circle for the respective team. But we will see both here in game 2 as Kaylani Ricketts trots out to the circle, and she'll get the start.
That just tells you the importance of winning that game 1, with both coaches going to the aces of the staff, trying to close it out. Kaylani Ricketts, the lefty from Oklahoma, going to keep the ball down in the zone, a drop ball pitcher. I thought she was great in that one inning, hit all of her spots except for just one to Sydney Romero, where she missed her spot. And of course, it resulted in that 2-run home run, but has good velocity and spreads the plate well.
Now, 1 inning in relief to finish the first game earlier. 1 run, 1 hit, that being the Romero 2-run home run, as Ricketts allowed an inherited runner to score as well. We had a really nice crowd to start the day before the rain delay. All the bleachers really packed at that point. The nearly 1-hour rain delay unfortunately chased away a number of the fans, but the hardy ones have stuck around, and they were, I'm sure, highly entertained by the comeback we saw for the Blaze in the eventual 14-12 final.
I'm seeing a lot of team merch already. This is just week 2. And there's been a lot of merch already bought, and yeah, there we go. There's some Blaze. We're seeing some Talons. Like, that's important. These teams and these fans are so new to this league, and I'm sure there's some softball fans out there having an identity crisis on which team you're going to be a fan of. And so I love that we're seeing some young fandom start to blossom here.
You know, that's a whole other subject we can get into later in the telecast here, how fans are picking their favorite team out of the 4 teams. And I just think a lot of it, if there's a couple of their favorite players on a certain team, they're going to lean towards that
100%,
team.
yep.
All right. Where's this ride going to take us for game 2 today on this Saturday from Chattanooga? Thanks for coming along with us. Kaylani Ricketts' first pitch on the way, and Sierra Sacco takes the first pitch for strike 1.
You don't think we're going to see a 14-12 game?
I'm not going to rule it out, but with these 2 starting pitchers, I would like to think that is unlikely.
I would agree.
As Sacco in that first game, 2 hits, a couple of runs scored, and a couple of walks. And hits one right past third base and into left field. There's her 3rd hit of the day, 5th time she's been on base. She begins the game with a base hit. Charlize Palacios caught the first game. She's the DP here in game 2. Oh, that is a high strike. Of course, we got a different plate umpire for this game as they rotate. Philip Friel's calling the balls and strikes here in game 2 today. As Palacios hits one down the right field side, foul. Palacios in the first game had a big 2-run single in the 4th. And helped the Talons get out to what was a 12-1 lead. You know, you're living right if you're a team, and this being the Talons, when you blow an 11-run lead and still win the game.
Man. Yeah, that's good living.
Eating nachos ain't a bad life either. That's through the right side. Palacios finding a hole. Tip by Gibson, Horton, and Leach, but it trickled into right. Back-to-back base hits for the Talons to start the game.
Yeah, both base hits from Sierra Sacco and Charlize Palacios on the ground, kind of resulting of what Keilani Ricketts throws. She keeps the ball down with that drop ball, and I think that's just what makes that home run from Sydney Romero so unique. Keilani Ricketts is a pitcher that really doesn't give up a ton of home runs because she doesn't live in the air. She makes her living with ground ball outs.
It seemed like, as Aguilar comes to the plate here, it seemed like Romero kind of ambushed first pitch, was sitting on something and got what she wanted.
And it's also one of those things where there's a lot of familiarity there with Sydney Romero and Keilani Ricketts just coming from the same program, spending some time, you know, coaching together, being around each other.
Yeah, no question, some familiarity there. Probably paid off for Sid Romero in that instance and helped decide the game. Otherwise, we might still be playing game 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ricketts did not get a decision in that first game. And she finished it out. Aguilar, 2 hits, 2 RBIs in game 1 today. 2 for 4.
Ricketts really wanting that drop ball on the outside part of the plate. Could see the pitch prior to this one. Taylor Edwards was talking to the home plate umpire, just trying to get a feel for the strike zone. A couple of good takes with 2 strikes from Ali Aguilar.
And she has worked it to a full count, and out in front pulls it foul. You see a little bit of blue sky as we pan around the area here at Frost Stadium. See how long we can get this to hold on. We are told later tonight, expect more rain, but hopefully we'll get this in without interruption. That is ball 4. A walk to Aguilar, and suddenly Keilani Ricketts. First inning jam here, bases loaded, nobody out to start things.
Yeah, she really wanted that pitch. Gave 3 to Aguilar. Just could not get the call.
Tori Vidales will bat with the bases loaded and a chance to do what the Talons did in the first game today, and that's jump out big early. Instead, maybe they get a pair, and they're going to throw instead of the plate. A force out there, and a nice play Taylor Edwards on the short hop from Urtez. They get the force out at the plate. When that ball left the bat, Kinsey, it was interesting to see what kind of decision Urtez was going to make, where she was going to go with this.
There's so much trust in this play from Urtez to throw this ball in the dirt to Taylor Edwards for the force at home. There's no way that she really could have good vision. You could see the 180 that she had to do, going up the middle, turning on a dime, throwing it just somewhere close to Taylor Edwards at home. But the key to me is that it was all under control.
Here's Hannah Flippen. We're at a 3-run home run to cap off a 4-run first in the earlier game today for the Talons. Wound up going 3 for 5 in the game.
I still think her play of the game was the pop-up she caught up the middle while we were talking to her mic'd up, and yes, she was doing play-by-play, breaking it down. I think that was the play of the game for me.
I would concur with that. Not very few times, if ever, do you experience a player making a play while the game is going on, describing it to the viewing audience while they make the play. That was cool.
Yeah, we get to mic up a lot of these players here at AUSL, and it's just always so fun when they're making plays and we get to hear what they're thinking about it.
Bouncing ball up the middle. That scores at least one. Here comes the second runner for the plate. Aguilar, that's cut off. And Flippen, 3-run homer in the first. In the earlier game, this a 2-run single to center.
Well, every base hit in this inning has been hard on the ground. The Talons scouting Keilani Ricketts well, looking down in the zone, but seeing pitches where they're pitched. Just seeing it up the middle. A lot of speed on the base paths, too, at the top of the lineup. And Ali Aguilar and Sierra Sacco.
So a quick 2 runs for the Talons. Caroline Jacobsen at the plate. First and second. Still just 1 out. Caroline was officially 0 for 1 with a run scored in the first game, but she walked 3 times and was hit by pitch once. She went around there. So her last 4 plate appearances in the early game, she reached all 4 times without putting a ball in play. Back towards the circle, over the head of Ricketts. Now Urtez has to hurry, and they do get it out at first base. Now the runner's advance. You could see Ricketts when it bounced first. I know she's thinking, am I going to get this ball and make a play? And it hopped all the way off the artificial turf over her head.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is go back towards this and it tips off your glove. Then you're looking at a potential bases loaded situation. So letting Urtez take it behind you, the smart move.
So Allie Shipman-Shrout is up. She's going to be the starting catcher. She's played 3 seasons at Tennessee and then finished up with 2 at Alabama. And that's right up the middle and may score 2 more. The second runner, Flippen, is in with a slide, and it's a 4-run inning. So Allie Shipman-Shrout knocks in a pair, get her pro career rolling.
Yeah, nice moment there. Sees an outside drop there from Keilani. Sees it so deep. When you're facing a drop ball pitcher, you cannot be in the mindset to pull. You have to be in the mindset at the plate to see everything deep. Almost tell yourself, I'm going to hit this to right field as a right-handed hitter. You try and pull something, you typically will roll over the pitch and you won't be happy with yourself. And I've been so impressed with the Talons approach. And, you know, maybe there's a little bit that goes into, they were just, you know, had a quick look at Keilani earlier today. with our first game in relief, so you kind of get comfortable talking about the approach and passing the bat, a little bit more information.
And here's Sydney Romero, who hit what proved to be the game-winning 2-run homer off Kaylani in the 7th. That ball almost grazed her. First homer of the year for Sydney. As you described it, as sooner on sooner crime. Is that what you used?
Yep, sooner on sooner crime.
Well, the Sooners have a lot of jewelry, so hopefully crime's not an issue because they have a lot of those rings.
A couple of national champions here.
Yep. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Romero was 2-time first-team All-American at OU. Won 2 national titles as a player, and that is strike 3 to win the inning. But 8 batters come to the plate for the Talons, and like the earlier game today, they wind up scoring 4 times. Blaze coming up. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is fueled by Gatorade. Good look at the Tennessee River. You're in Chattanooga. 4 spot in the top of the first for the Talons as we go to the bottom half. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blaze that they put up here for game 2 of the day. Got Leach once again leading off. Klingler, huge first game today. Those 4 hits and 7 RBIs in game 1 for Bailey Klingler, who's arguably been the top rookie with the numbers she's been putting up through the first 4 games.
Yeah, she's been the best hitter, and it's pretty much not close. I mean, 3-run home run. What did you say, 7 RBI that she had?
7 in the first game.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hitting over 500.
First pitch for Montana Fouts, fouled back.
Montana is going to bring the velocity coming from the right side. Uses a lot of rise ball. Can throw that rise ball at 68 miles an hour, but uses the curve consistently to get ahead right there. Curve into Aubrey Leach, the lefty. Oh, yeah.
Good number of Bama fans have been here this weekend. All the players have been well received, but probably the loudest ovations that we have heard so far have come from Montana Fouts.
Yeah, I agree. B Ellis probably already, or also had a, second best, I guess, reception in terms of how loud the crowd was.
Aubrey back to Montana Fouts, and Montana throws on to first, and Vidales. 1 away in the bottom of the first. Montana Fouts, 5 seasons she hit at Alabama. 4-time first-team All-SEC, first-team All-American 4 times. Pitch up high. Of course, fans, especially Bama fans, will not forget the Montana Fouts perfect game that she tossed against UCLA in the 2021 Women's College World Series. Mason Kowalik and Kayla fouls it back.
I also love the fact that Montana is throwing to her former collegiate catcher in Allie Shipman-Trout.
Yeah, Allie played her last couple of years in Tuscaloosa.
I think it just makes the game go so much faster. You can see Allie's the one that's calling the pitches, but obviously Montana has to be on the same page, and it's easier when you have someone that knows you as well as Allie knows Montana. There's going to be fewer shake-offs. There's that built-in chemistry, that built-in relationship.
She shake her off that time?
Yeah, she did.
2-2, she lays off. It is a full count on Kowalik. Let's peek in again here.
You see the quick nod. Yep, on the same page. And even when Montana does shake, or any pitcher does shake a catcher, as a catcher that has as much experience as Allie does have with Montana, they know exactly what maybe she's looking for. Okay, I didn't want this, but I want that. And I'm going to give you that next pitch.
Comes another 3-2 to Kowalik. And another foul ball. Your playing time, you were kind of on the cusp. The pitchers and catchers had a little bit more freedom in college to call their own pitches. Did you have that luxury at times?
A little bit of both, yeah. My senior year had my senior catcher, Kelsey Rodriguez. I'll shout her out. We were able to call a lot of our own games.
Well, ball 4 is down low to Kowalik. There's a one-out base runner for the Blaze here in the bottom of the first. It's going to bring up arguably the hottest hitter right now in Chattanooga. And that's the Blazes' Bailey Klingler. Bailey in the first game, as I mentioned, 4 hits. She was 4 for 5 with 7 RBIs. So Bailey right now, she already has 10 hits in 4 games. She is 10 for 16 as a professional. It's not that easy.
Those are crazy numbers. You can tell Montana, she knows. Needs to be very careful here with the hottest hitter in the lineup for Blaze.
Hit her first career professional home run in the 4th inning of game 1. One thing she hadn't done in the first 3 games was hit one over the wall or drive in a run, and she did both those things in game 1 today. Soft liner, throw to first, double play. They're going to call an illegal pitch here. So nullify the result there. An illegal pitch called on Montana.
Not sure what for. Don't see anything there. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot there.
Well, puts Klingler back at the plate, keeps Kowalik at first. Still just the 1 out. And now that is ball 4.
I'm also just like a little confused. There's the third base umpire, Philip Friels, who's behind second base. And so your vantage point is going to be very different from the umpire, say, at first base. I don't see anything from that vantage point where I could call an illegal pitch.
And you definitely don't see her, in essence, replan and push.
No, not even
That's
close.
not there. So
if anything, it could be her first foot, her right foot. You have to make sure that you're over the plane of the rubber, but you can't see that from behind. You can see that from the side.
well, since then, Montana has struggled to throw one over the plate here. That's 3 straight out of the zone. Now a 2-0 count. And Danielle Gibson-Horton. think as a result of that, he had a visit out there. Talons head coach Howard Dobson. Anything from this angle? You know, obviously, as you mentioned, didn't come from the first base umpire.
So her right foot just has to be over the plane of the rubber. But to me, the first base umpire, that's his call, John Schaefer, and he didn't call it. So maybe there was like a little half inch where her heel is off of the rubber. I mean, it's very minimal. Your heel can be up, it can be off of the rubber, it just can't break the rubber forward, if that makes sense.
It does. Now 2 balls and a strike. Gibson Horton. 2 on, 1 out. Fouled back. We got Chris Neighbors calling the balls and strike. Philip Friels, the umpire at third. John Schaefer at first. That's put in the air to deep left center field. Well hit and over the fence. Danielle Gibson Horton hits her first home run of the season. Makes it with 1 swing, a 1-run game.
It is in the air here in Chattanooga. Man, this ballpark likes some offense.
Maybe a 14-12 repeat is in the cards.
Montana goes to the rise. She had been staying low in the zone using the curve to Danielle Gibson on both sides of the plate. And Danielle Gibson Horton is all over this rise.
So 3-run blast for Danielle Gibson Horton. So it's a 4-3 game. Still only 1 out. Home run number 1 on the season. Danielle Gibson Horton. Corby Otis, a 0-ball, 2-strike count. Corby a couple hits in the first game today, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Pulls a foul. You know, the Talons had just scored 4 in the top of the first. Blaze have responded so far with 3 off of Fouts after 4 off of Ricketts in the top half. Fouts got the leadoff batter, Leach, on a comebacker, but since then walked Kowalik and Klingler. There was that illegal pitch call mixed in, and then Gibson's home run. Now Otis battling with 2 strikes.
Yeah, to me in this league, I feel like the biggest thing are walks, because every single one of these hitters can leave the yard. They're incredibly good. You're looking at a roster, a lineup of All-American after All-American after All-American. So these hitters are going to hit home runs. They just are. It's just whether or not are these home runs solo home runs or are they 3-run home runs, grand slams. That's where you're going to start to see the difference really break at this level. And so you just cannot give those free passes up.
And we saw that issue in the first game today, and it's starting to repeat itself here in game 2. Well, from 0-2 to 3-2 on Corby Otis. And she whacks one into right field, but it stays up with Caroline Jacobsen. Good plate appearance for Otis, who got behind quickly 0-2 to Fouts and battled her way back. Hit that one right on the screws, but right to the right fielder Jacobsen.
Yeah, the rookie has had some really good at-bats. Batting in the middle of the lineup, like that's a big deal when Coach Elisa Goller is riding this lineup. There's so many veterans on this Blaze team, and Corby Otis has been in that 5 spot.
You know, you mentioned that's one of the first things I thought of calling games here in the AUSL, when you start seeing who's on the bench and you're like, wow, you know, you're sitting that person, then you're like, well, okay, you got to play that, you got to play her. Really incredible, the amount of talent.
Go from a rookie to one of the most veteran players in the league in Taylor Edwards. Has been playing professionally since 2014.
Had her jersey retired at her alma mater, Nebraska, which was number 12. Foul tip into the mitt. Valley Shipman Trout. 2-2.
If I'm Montana, I'm going right back to that drop ball on the outside part of the plate. Knee level.
All right, how about that pitch on 3-2?
That first changeup that we've seen from Montana here in the first. Not a pitch that she throws often. Kind of a changeup for show to try and set up her hard stuff.
We'll count on Taylor Edwards. Another deep count. Kept it away just enough, and Fouts records her first strikeout. But Danielle Gibson Horton hit one over the wall left center to take a 4-0 lead down to 4-3. So we played an inning. Game 2 here from Chattanooga. 4-3 Talons. Well, the Talons celebrated their first ever Talympics, a showcase of friendly competition and team spirit. And on Instagram, the squad shared highlights, and players competed in fun. There were fast-paced challenges, everything from sprint relays, glove toss events. A day full of teamwork, as well as some laughs. Competitive fire, got to help build camaraderie and pump up the squad. That was leading into the season.
Yeah, this all looks fun in games, but you could see that there was a scoreboard there, very serious business about who won. Broke their team up into 4 different teams, competing against each other with all sorts of challenges. I think my favorite of that bunch was the Oreo. You started on your forehead and see if you can make it down to your mouth. Incredibly hard. Takes a lot of focus.
Sounds kind of impossible, actually, but
no, someone did it.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, as you said, it'll take some practice, and that's an unusual thing to practice.
Well, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend going to their social media page and watching it. It's so funny. I don't know who came up with all of the challenges, but they were unique.
Yeah, it took some imagination just to come up with the events, so to speak, in the Talympics. Victoria Hayward was the only one of the batting 9 to come up in the first inning for the Talons, as they scored 4 times. 8 batters came to the plate. Hayward 1 for 4 with an RBI. A couple of runs scored in the first game. Bounced softly towards third and quickly gobbled up On a gold. It's been a lot of fun to watch at third base. Saw her play a little bit of short as well in the earlier game.
Yeah, there's a lot of players on both sides, but really I'm thinking about this Blaze defense. A lot of players that can play multiple positions. Bailey Klingler is out in right field. She can play any position in the infield. On a gold, we saw her at short, like you're talking about. And then Anissa Urtez.
Yeah, right out to short. Speaking of Urtez, you get Sacco on one pitch. Tell you, we haven't had many one-pitch outs today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of deep counts, a lot of hitters seeing a lot of different pitches.
Palacios bats with the bases empty, 2 outs. Ricketts looking for a clean inning. Another play right side. By the way, the only 3-up, 3-down inning in our first game earlier today was the last one, the bottom of the 7th, when the Blaze went in order against Montana Fouts. It was the only 3-up, 3-down inning.
Yeah, that sounds about right. This is that kind of game.
Yes, it was that kind of game. It's a good way to put that. Foul down the right field side. Palacios took a base hit to right first time up. That's down the right field side, foul again.
Keilani is really working the inner half to Charlize, knowing the power that she has at the plate.
Strike 3 is the call, and we do have a 3-up, 3-down inning for Keilani Ricketts. That's him down in order in the top of the second. First time today the Talons have gone 1, 2, 3.
You didn't jinx it. Good job, Mark. 3-up, 3-down, and the second K of the day for Keilani Ricketts.
Into the bottom of the second inning from Chattanooga. Game 2 of the day from Frost Stadium. 4-3. Talons lead the Blaze. Blaze come up home half of the second. And the bottom 3 due up. Look at the crowd at Frost Stadium, named for Jim Frost. He was also known as the godfather of Tennessee softball. The late Jim Frost passed away back in 2021, the namesake of the ballpark here. Anissa Urtez leading off. Montana brought that one up about the width of the softball from the first pitch. She gets a strike call.
See Montana shake that inside call off to get something on the outer half, just not getting the call.
Yeah, if anything, I would say the zones have been a bit tight today.
the outside corner specifically for me.
To the right-handed hitters?
Yeah.
Shipman wants time. Chris Neighbors, our plate umpire here in game 2. Got it past her there with the velo, and it's a full count.
I love the movement on Montana's rise. It's sharp. I love the combination going upstairs and then her curve away. Just missed a little bit on that curve. It was supposed to be on the outside part of the plate. I would go back to that rise in. Ortez is looking for something on the inner half. You saw her swing at that pitch there, and I would just trust some low movement.
Ortez just tried to foul that off and see another pitch. Couldn't make contact, and a strikeout for Fouts, her second of the game.
Goes back to the curve. And just Ortez can't get there. And I love the emotion a little bit there from Montana, just kind of slapping her glove. Yes, get that strikeout, the first of the inning here in the second. And now her second so far in this game.
Pours in a first pitch strike to Anna Gold. Gold, who just finished up 4 seasons at Duke. Upstate New York native. Off to a nice start in her rookie season as a pro.
We were talking about Corby Otis and how she's been that 5-hole hitter for Blaze, and then Anna Gold has been a consistent starter here for every game with Blaze.
Right fielder wants that. Jacobsen calls off Aguilar. Put away out number 2.
I just think it's such a huge honor for these rookies to be making starting lineups.
No doubt.
I'm talking about Sierra Sacco on the other side for Talons.
Bases are empty for Aaliyah Andrews. The speed of Andrews, they're in very tight on the corners, especially at third base. Sydney Romero. Andrews had a very nice first game today. 3 hits. He was 3 for 4. A couple of runs scored.
And a couple of those hits were drag bunts, so that's why Sydney Romero is in tight. This is that cat and mouse game that I love about our sport, with short gamers, slappers, and third basemen. And it changes pitch to pitch. Romero backs up a couple of steps now.
Yeah, playing third base is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, there's a reason I didn't play there ever. Nope, not
one time.
Not even gonna try it. Nope. Played first and a little bit of second back in my club days when I wasn't pitching. Not third, no thanks.
Yeah, those 3 hits, all 3 infield hits, as you mentioned the bunt hits as well. So Andrews using her speed well in game 1. It's a foot race now, and you have to field and throw quickly, and Flippen does just that to get the speedy Andrews. And Montana Fouts has a 3-up, 3-down inning and has set down 5 in a row since Danielle Gibson Horton's home run. It stays a 1-run game at the end of 2. This game today over the Blaze, 14-12. It's a 4-3 Talons lead as they come up in the top of the third inning from Chattanooga. Game for old generations at Frost Stadium here in Tennessee.
What do you think we're watching there? I mean, they're here. They can't be watching the game, or maybe they can.
3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Talons. Sally Aguilar leads off. Doesn't take long for the new generation to start watching stuff on mom's phone. That's sent out to left center field. Andrews roams out in the left center alley to track that down. It's now 5 in a row retired by Kowalik Ricketts. She'll face Tori Vidales. Begin her with strike one.
Tori's been a little quiet just for her standards. I feel like she's a bat that impacts every game that she's in. Usually you see a big hit, whether it's a home run or a double. Usually it's an RBI, usually it's with people on base.
He had to jackknife out of the way of that one, running in on her from Ricketts. Seems like Kaylani's starting to find a bit of a rhythm here. And now she gets a chance to field her position. Goes out Tori Vidales. Make it 6 in a row set down by Ricketts.
Yeah, when Kaylani is rolling, you're going to see a lot of balls off at the end of the bat because of her drop ball, a lot of weak ground outs, or sometimes even weak pop-ups.
Flippen with a 2-run single in the first of this game, a 3-run homer in the first of the earlier game today. Flippen wore the Mike Forrest in the first game and was highly entertaining as usual.
Remember what she told us? She told us that she likes high pitches. She was so confident about it. I don't care. Tell everyone. I like the high ones.
Gave the self-scout.
So if I'm a pitcher and I'm on another team and I hear that, do you think I'm going to give her anything up? No. Mm-mm.
And that hit her.
Ouch.
So a 2-out base runner, Flippen, is hit by pitch. Yeah, she's got a smile on her face by the time she gets to first.
The drop that just got away from Kaylani, and when you're a lefty going up against a righty and you're really trying to go in tight on the inner half and you miss, sometimes there's just no more room over there. It's not a lot of space versus when you're pitching to a lefty, you can really let that curve run, really let that drop go.
Caroline Jacobsen with 2 outs. Rolled out the shortstop Ortez earlier. Coming up on 60 pitches for Ricketts. We threw 17 in the first game today. That ball's hit well. Deep left field by Jacobsen, and it will sail out by the bleachers. first of the year for Caroline Jacobsen. Two-out rally by the Talons. Bumped it up to a 6-3 lead.
Well, the last game we were talking about how Caroline Jacobsen was the only player in this Talons lineup that didn't have a hit because she was consistently being walked and had a couple of hit by pitches. So finally she gets something she can get her barrel to. I don't really know how she cleared her hands for this. This pitch was in tight. Her hands stay tight, allows her bat to stay long through the zone, and so much power.
After Ricketts got the first two hits, Flippen, and then Jacobsen hits one out. That's hit by Shipman well, but right on a line to Aaliyah Andrews. Allie's had a couple of good at-bats after a two-run single her first time up. And Jacobsen goes deep and gives the Talons a 6-3 lead. Having a little dinner at the ballpark. Here at Frost Stadium with the chicken tenders. 6-3 Talons. Blaze come up, bottom of the third.
Well, we were doing the ball shuffle, and then you said chicken.
And you lost.
And I lost
focus.
Yes, because I was trying to do it with the girl. Oh, it's two. Okay.
I was playing along with you, but then we came back from break, and I had
said
to
chicken. I was like, where?
Take my eyes off the scoreboard.
That's hard.
Oh, it got hard. You were complaining that it wasn't hard enough.
No, it's sped up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The marketing is really fun here at AUSL. I will give them their props because it's deserved.
Got to get her a little air conditioning. I don't know if that fan's doing the job.
Man, how many Alabama shirts are here? We just keep finding new ones.
It's
incredible.
Well represented. You know, you just get on the highway out here and go south here in Birmingham, then take a little turn a little later in Tuscaloosa. So not all that far away from where we are. Top of the order up. Aubrey Leach. No ball, 2-strike count. When we get to the bottom of the inning, we're going to have a chance to mic up Aubrey and get her perspective over at second base when we get to the bottom of the inning. Five in a row set down by Fouts. Yeah, he's got his Blaze number 75 jersey representing Aubrey Leach.
I'm still kind of taking in the uniforms. And I was with you last weekend for opening weekend and, you know, got to see the uniforms in person. But now week 2, I'm kind of like getting used to it a little bit more. And I'm really loving what I'm seeing. Got great colors, great logos, different uniform combinations. And then you have to accessorize, right? So if your team is pink, well, what color do you think my batting gloves are going to be?
Ooh. Dang. Right back at Fouts. Took the glove off. Started to make a play on the ball, but.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Okay, that's good
Glad
to see.
That, yeah. Gets her glove on it just because of how hard Aubrey Leach hit that ball. It takes her glove completely off.
That rocket looked like it was coming right back at her throwing elbow, and she fortunately brought the glove across and was able to basically intercept that, knock it down. So an infield hit for Leach. And Kowalik up. She walked and scored on the Danielle Gibson Horton 3-run home run in the first inning.
Kayla Kowalik in the 2-hole. She's just another one of those triple threat hitters who has the ability to do a lot of different things, batting behind Aubrey Leach, who is always on base. Looks like there was potentially a little hit and run going on there. But Kowalik, she swings away, she'll show drag, she can power up, she can chop slap. A lot of different options.
In her second season as a pro. Knocked down at shortstop. What a play by Flippen to get the lead runner Leach. Kind of a sliding to one knee stop and throw to Aguilar to get it out.
She has no business making this play. This is incredible. Aubrey Leach has a ton of speed at first base, and Hannah Flippen gets her out with a step and even a bobble. My goodness.
Klingler hits the first one foul. Like Kowalik. Klingler in her second season as a pro. I think I mentioned a rookie earlier, but she's in her second year. And yeah, that's where the smile Flippen. That's doing the Flippen stuff.
I feel like we're going to continue to see the defense build as the season goes on. To me, the professional level, the biggest difference is the defense to the collegiate level.
Down the right field side now into foul territory. Racing Kowalik to third base. Now the ball as it trickles in. She's going to try to score and will without a throw. Klingler with another one. Yeah, that's where the smile, man. She has been red hot today. Winds up down at second base.
Kayla Kowalik was on her horse. Looks like there is going to be a challenge for this, whether it was a fair or foul ball.
Well, as it was skipping up the line, it was fair, and it hopped over the base, but where it came down initially behind the bag did look foul. And I know you will hear a lot of times, well, it's where it goes over the bag. I think most umpires, even if this ball is over the bag,
I think it's barely fair.
Most of the times they're going to call it where it bounces first behind the base.
Yeah, I'm ruling on fair.
I'm interested to see where this challenge goes, quite frankly. We'll see if this hit holds for Klingler or not.
After video review, the call on the field is upheld. Fair ball. That'll be the Talons' first challenge of the game.
There you go. It is upheld. It'll be a base hit for Klingler. This keeps racking them up, her fifth of the day.
There's a little bit of a relay issue from Jacobsen to Aguilar, which is why Kayla Kowalik was able to score all the way from first base.
Yeah, no RBI for Klingler due to the error. She does get a two-base hit. Danielle Gibson-Horton, who sent one out over by the bleachers in left center field, her first time up for a three-run poke, is at the plate again. Bouts pitching carefully to Danielle Gibson-Horton.
See, that's tough when you're not getting that called for a strike. Pitch before that one was on the outer half. That one was definitely a ball, but you're trying to find a strike, get ahead in the count.
That's the call right on the outside edge that time. 3-1. Chafin, who did pitch the earlier game, is up in the bullpen for the Talons. And that is a walk to Daniel Gibson Horton. A couple of runners are aboard with only one out here in the Blaze third inning. Klingler, Gibson Horton aboard. Corby Otis. Corby in her first plate appearance got quickly behind in the count, 0-2, worked it full and hit a hard line drive to right, but right at the right fielder, Caroline Jacobsen. See, well, Montana's not missing by much. He's right on the edges. Well, it's going to get away and give each runner an extra 60 feet. Klingler and Gibson Horton now both in scoring position for Otis.
Yeah, missing with the curve on both sides of the plate, so tries to go to the drop. Like that hack there from Otis. Hitters count. You know that Montana doesn't want to walk you. You're a rookie, so get your swing off.
See what she gets on a 3-2 pitch from Montana Fouts. Went up after it and it's a high fly. Out to left center field. Victoria Hayward corrals that. Not hit deep enough. The left there by Klingler from third, but fly ball out. 2 gone. Harding going to come up here at an Edwards spot. Harding comes off the bench to pinch hit here for Edwards.
Saw this in our first game today with Kaylee Harding doing exactly this, coming in to pinch hit for Taylor Edwards. Kind of sharing that spot in the lineup. Struck out in her last at bat against Montana. And this is a big moment here. 2 on, 2 out.
A little bit low, and it's 3-0. First base is open. Rays have scored 1 so far here in the third, threatening again with 2 on, 2 outs. Bounce with a 3-1 pitch to the pinch hitter Harding, and it's popped in the air to short, and Flippen squeezes it to retire the side. Blaze do get a run, strand a couple runners. When we come back, a chance to visit with Aubrey Leach. We'll mic her up, the second baseman for the Blaze, when we come back to Chattanooga. Game 2 of the day from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Talons have a 6-4 lead on the Blaze as we go to the top of the 4th inning, and we welcome in Aubrey Leach, second baseman for the Blaze, as she takes her spot. Aubrey, good to have you with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. Glad to be here.
Well, you're a Houston native, but you played collegiately up the road in Knoxville at Tennessee for 4 years. Got your law degree there. What's it like coming back to the Volunteer State?
Oh, it's awesome. Being able to be in East Tennessee, playing in front of the crowd. I see some Tennessee orange out there, but some Blaze supporters too. It's great.
Aubrey, I want to ask you about the game that we had earlier today. Of course, you guys just fell just a little bit short of it, but have you ever been in a game like that where you came back 11 runs to tie it?
I cannot remember coming back from that much of a deficit, but it was awesome. It was so cool to be a part of, and I'm glad this Blaze team could show some of that fire we have.
Hey, I'm interested, what happened during the rain delay when you guys came back out and you were like a different team in that first game?
I'm going to give it up to the Chick-fil-A we got during the rain delay.
Nice.
We had some fuel. We just, we weren't going to give up. We weren't going to give in. Still had some game left, and this season's longer than the other ones, but still kind of short. So we're going to take every at-bat seriously and see what we can do.
Well, weekend 2, of course, last weekend was opening weekend. So give us your assessment so far on this new league.
It's been impressive. Fans in the stands, people are excited. You can feel the excitement with tons of travel ball teams and supporters showing up. I think people were ready for it and glad they're here even through the rain. Good
1-1 pitch
Lonnie.
to Urtez. You're on the player executive committee. How's that role going?
It's neat. It's neat to see behind the scenes and how you form a new league out of kind of nothing. I go. Nice. Job, Gibby. Way to be. Job, Lon.
Nice play.
Thanks. That one was tough. A little slow roller. Sid's not slow either.
No.
Oh, they're going to challenge.
I thought you had her.
We'll give you the
We're going to look at the replay here.
Thank you.
Challenge is challenging the call at first base. That call is under video review.
What'd you feel, Gib?
Pretty close. It's too close, I think, to overturn. But.
Okay.
You can tell Danielle we think in the booth that the call should be upheld.
The booth tells me it should be upheld, so.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Booth.
Thanks, Booth.
Now that we look at it in slow motion, I think Danielle had the best answer.
I don't know.
That it
on,
might be too
guys.
close to change.
Don't do that to me.
Oh no, I think that call's gonna stand.
Okay.
This is really close.
It is
though.
really close, but I think it gets in Danielle's glove just as the left foot comes down.
It's just whether there's enough. And
It's not indisputable to overturn it, would be my judgment.
All right. I'm okay with that.
yeah, it's almost
Okay.
a straight up tie. Oh man.
Sid ate her Wheaties this morning a little fast.
The runner is out. The Talons' second.
There we go. Hey, waste a challenge. We love it.
Challenge of the game.
You're not competitive at all, are you?
Not at all. All right, slapper here. Could get another one. Yeah, BK, I'm up.
As a second baseman, I want to talk about this situation with Vic at the plate. How do you play her? She's
tough.
Yeah.
Slap. Especially, using her 3 tools: bunt, slap, hit. She kind of has a spray everywhere, so it's not easy. Kayla's doing a good job calling pitches. Lon's tough to hit. Slap! Give it, you! Stick! Yes!
Wow.
Woo-hoo!
Let's switch things up there. Going to get you both all kinds of work here in this inning.
Good.
So right there is Danielle staying back the entire way, and then you were just reacting, or were you going to cover first base if Vic had a bunt?
I'd cover on the bunt.
Okay.
Anything soft, I would take Gibby. Anything hard, Gibby had.
So you get Romero 4-3, you get Hayward 3-4 in the scorebook. Now top of the order was Sacco.
Yell on.
And now you're backing up a couple of steps with the power of Sierra.
Yeah, she got some pop behind that.
Yeah.
bat. Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, 1-0. Punt! Stick! See ya. Yeah.
Gold came up with it. Sacco reaches. Looks like she put that right in the perfect spot for her. to reach.
Tricky little thing. I was telling Vic earlier, Saka needs to buy a lotto ticket. Her hits were finding holes no matter where she put them.
They were, I think that's the first time we've seen her bunt. She's been swinging away.
Yeah, she has.
So they're going to make a pitching change here.
Yeah, Lonnie.
And Kaylani Ricketts lifted here with 2 outs in the 4th.
Hey. She can't stand there. Back up. Back up.
Aubrey, I want to ask you about the rookie in the circle here, Emma Lemley. What have you seen from her so far? Obviously, we watched her at Virginia Tech, and now she's playing with you here at the professional level.
She's a little spark plug. She got some fiery stuff. She's aggressive on the mound. She likes to have the ball. So she fits right in.
Emma threw an inning of the first game, started. She takes over here for Ricketts.
We learned about your team mascot last weekend with our interview with Emma. I think it was Torchy. And then I've been corrected that the big animal is La Flame.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Little Torchy and La Flame, not Big Torchy.
Not Big Torchy.
Yeah.
It's all right. It was weekend
we're a
one.
More creative than that.
It was weekend one. We were trying to all figure it out.
No, we're good. Yeah. Little Torchy travels better than La Flame, but she's here.
Let it dance.
Yeah, Lim.
That's good now. Yep, let's get it out. Get her done on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Get her done. Yeah, Lim, go get him.
Here we go.
Me and you.
Get her done. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Somewhere Larry the Cable Guy's smiling right now.
I'm loving the action that we're having in this inning. We have a runner at first with some
Me and you.
speed. Are you covering the bag at second on a steal?
Depends on the pitch. Yeah, Lim. None. Yeah, Lim. See you working. Trying to not put too many people out of position. Yeah, Lim. Yeah, Lim. Oh, barely. Nice.
Klingler makes the catch to retire the side. Really enjoyed that. Aubrey, thanks so much for letting us peek into your world.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Aubrey Leach, 6'3" Talons. So here's what's ahead. There is more AUSL softball tonight. Yeah, the Volts and Bandits out at Sulphur, Louisiana. It's 7:30 Eastern time, so we're a little less than an hour and a half away from that. Talons Blaze, of course, here tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Then those series, you see Bandits Talons Tuesday and Blaze Volts game 2 of a doubleheader on Tuesday as well from Wichita. Again, all the broadcast information available where you can go see us on theausl.com. I believe they handed out little cowbells before the game, so that's what you're hearing from the fan base. Montana Fouts back out to start bottom of the 4th. The Blaze have the bottom 3 up. And Anissa Urtez fouls the first pitch away.
Yeah, when those cowbells get going, it is loud in here.
We need to go to Mississippi State for a football game because it's a whole new level of cowbell. No balls, 2 strikes. What do you think of Montana Fouts so far?
Yeah, it's been, a little bit of an up and down outing. She had the 3 up and 3 down in the second, but a little bit of traffic in that last inning in the third. And then, of course, the 3-run home run from Danielle Gibson-Horton in the first. So just trying to navigate that. I feel like the zone's been a little bit tight at times. Had the 1 illegal pitch in the first.
Ball is hit towards short, gobbled up. Flippen's throw in time to get Urtez.
At this level, you're not going to dominate like maybe you did in college, but it's just going to be about how you can handle the adversity, how you can handle and how you can limit the big innings, limit the free passes, and just fight.
Ooh. They got her on one of the guards, perhaps, but nonetheless. Anna Gold drops the bat and runs to first.
She does have the guard there on her front elbow, and I think that's where it hits.
Yep.
That's why you wear them.
Being that you're an ex-pitcher, though, I know you probably aren't crazy about hitters that have a lot of protection at the plate.
Yeah, when I played, we had like really small Evo shields. They were tiny compared to what you see now. They were even smaller than that. That's one of the smaller ones that you'll see
these days.
Yeah.
Lee Andrews thrown out. Flippen back in the second, 0 for 1 in this game after 3 hits in game 1 today. And the race is on, and the race is won by Andrews by an eyelash. That speed just puts such pressure on a defense. You got to be perfect. And really Romero was, but it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where we know it, Aaliyah knows it, Sydney Romero knows it, that she is bunting. And she's also going to be safe. Look how she deadens this ball. That is elite. Especially with knowing that Montana's throwing 68, 69, 70 miles an hour. So she's providing so much power in, and Leah Andrews has such soft hands that she's just able to take that 70 miles an hour and just put it right in front of home plate.
And here is Aubrey Leach. I had the pleasure of just chatting with last inning. Up with 2 on and 1 out. Infield hit for her an inning ago. By the way, I know our crowd mics are great at picking up not only the crowd, but adjacent things going on. There's a train track beyond left field, so a lot of times you're hearing very slow-moving locomotives going past. I mean, that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, yesterday I learned that it was a train. I thought it was like tornado sirens at first, and we were having crazy weather, so I was a little freaked out, and everyone's like, no, it's just the train horn. Calm down. Okay, sorry.
This is a whole park area. Warner Park. There's 4 softball fields just to our right. The youth teams were using even earlier today when we got in. So it's a nice complex here in Chattanooga. And Frost Stadium's fantastic. I mean, it has been around a while, but it has some history. You got the Chattanooga Zoo that's just north of us on this piece of land. The SEC softball tournament was held right here at Frost Stadium back in 2001 and 2002. Gonna let that roll foul. The SEC in 2004 started moving the SEC tournament around campus schools, but prior to that it was neutral sites, and it was played here. 01 and 02.
There is something really poetic about driving up to the ballpark, and that complex over to your right, like you were talking about, was full of youngsters playing, and then we're getting ready to call a professional game. Like, that was, I don't know, a really cool moment for me. I was like, dang, all these players, you know, after their game are going to walk on over and watch this game. A lot of them were in uniform in our first game.
The U.S. national team played an exhibition game here in June of 2000. Ball's hit pretty well to left, but there is Sacco. Holds it in for out number 2. Sacco gets a little love from Flippen there. Here's Kowalik. 2 on and 2 outs. Third and final game of this series right back here tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern time. We have an anticipated pitching matchup. Raylene Chafin against Alicia Ocasio. We'll see if that plays out. Here's the matchup given to us by both coaches, Goler and Dobson, before the series of what they anticipated. But as we saw, after you play the slugfest we saw earlier today, even the best laid plans can change.
I love the matchups, though. Getting to know the matchups going into the weekend, just like you see in the MLB.
Check swing. Did she go? Yes. This is Philip Friel's over at third base. And that strikeout will end the inning. So a couple of runners stranded by the Blaze. So we have finished 4 innings of our second game of the day from Chattanooga. Well, even with the rain earlier in our first game where we had the delay, it's been a fun day here on this Saturday in Chattanooga after the rain out last night. Look at our game summary as we head to the top of the 5th. 4-run first for the Talons, just like they had in the first game today. They have the 6-4 lead as they come up in the top of the 5th inning. Ali Aguilar leading off. Walk and a fly ball to center for Aguilar as Limley, a rise ball finishes high. Sacramento, California native Ali Aguilar.
Love that low rise there from Emma Lemley. Can throw that rise ball even around the knees and then continues to move it up through the zone.
That ball hit well left center field. That's going to get over the head of Otis and over the fence. Ali Aguilar hits her 2nd of the season at a solo blast last week and has one here to add to the Talons' lead and make it 7-4.
Yeah, big smiles here for Ali Aguilar. The veteran gets another rise ball from Lemley, but this one just a little bit more elevated right into her swing. And Ali Aguilar stands really tight on home plate when she's up to bat. And so that pitch that maybe is outside is kind of more middle for her because of where she stands in the box. And big swing there.
That's behind the bag fair, and the throw across from out of gold in time. Get Vidales on the first pitch. Brings up Hannah Flippen. In this game, Hannah has a hit and a hit by pitch. 2-run single in the first. And took one off her left hip. Last plate appearance in the 3rd.
First at bat here against Emma Lemley today. That hit by pitch was from Kaylani Ricketts, who is the starter for Blaze.
And so Flippen hit that 3-run home run 5 batters into the game in the first game today off Lemley through the first inning. It's 7 runs in their first 3 games. 6 of those in one game. Their one win last weekend, but 21 so far in the doubleheader. Three balls, 2 strikes. Then we got the final out of the 4th. Home run to Aguilar to begin this inning, and then the Vidales ground ball. 3-2 pitch to Flippen.
A little bit of an awkward swing there from Hannah, and that curveball from Emma Lemley.
What made it awkward for you?
Just the way she didn't finish it. It was almost like it, her hands kind of broke a little bit as she went to contact. I would go curve again.
Get out to left field, fading, and in time, Romero is able to come in and call off Urtez for the second out.
Emma Lemley, a strikeout pitcher when she was at Virginia Tech, but also makes a living with balls in the air. A lot of fly ball outs because of the spin that she pitches with, that rise ball, that upspin. Right there.
Two-run homer for Jacobsen last time up. Played her first 4 seasons at Duke and then went elsewhere in the ACC for 1 year. Her grad transfer year to Clemson. She's got her political science degree from Duke. Went to Clemson and got a master's degree in business administration.
What was your major?
It was broadcast journalism, so that basically if you want to pick the lowest paying
So was mine too.
jobs based out of school, go get that journalism degree.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Classes were fun.
They were. I didn't want to do anything else.
It was mostly for me about which major didn't have math. So it was,
Oh, yes.
you know,
I'm with you on
communications, history, or journalism, and I ultimately chose journalism.
I was not going to be an accountant, I can tell you that. That's Jacobsen on base for a second time in the game. Picks up a 2-out free pass from Limley. Is that a journalism major, an accounting major, math major, electrical engineering? Whole life ahead. Strike 1. Ellis Shipman Trout's had 2 really good plate appearances. 2-run single in the first. Hit a ball hard last time up in the third, but lined out right to the center fielder Andrews. Allie Shipman, now Allie Shipman Trout, as she married J.T. Trout, who played quarterback at a number of schools, including Tennessee. And it's popped up towards short. Urtez backs up just onto the green to make the catch. Aguilar's solo shot led off the top of the frame.
Yeah, how about the veteran, Ali Aguilar? Big swing here, rise ball on the outside part of the plate. She takes it that way, deep left center, solo shot for the Talons.
There in the middle is the GM of the Talons, Lisa Fernandez, who, also is longtime coach at her alma mater, UCLA, 3-time Olympian, One of the best players in the history of softball, two-way player. And now taking her opportunity to be a GM in pro softball.
Yeah, and Dana Sorensen, the GM of the Blaze, to her left, our right. So I left the two GMs just sitting together talking about, you know, there's only so much you can talk about, right, when you're opponents, but there's a lot of, I'm sure, things that they have in common.
Yeah, both great
learning from
pitchers.
Yeah, learning from last weekend to this weekend.
Sorensen, who pitched at Stanford, helped get them to a couple of Women's College World Series in the early 2000s. Both in their school's Athletics Hall of Fame, as are you at Arizona. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. It was one of those things where it kind of hits you like, oh, you're old enough and eligible to be in a Hall of Fame. That's where we're at now? Okay. 10 years officially out.
Don't look at the time that has passed. Think about the time you had to earn that.
What is time?
Yeah, it goes pretty fast. There's Klingler hitting a high fly to center field. "27 seasons coaching at UCLA, 5 NCAA titles. We mentioned the medals. I mean, it's, you know, unmatched would maybe be a strong word, but try to find a resume better than that.
I was watching this social video. I think it was actually MLB that posted it, and it was of Jenny Finch and Natasha Watley, and they were being asked what their Mount Rushmore of softball players were, and both of them had Lisa Fernandez in the first 2 picks.
I don't doubt that at all. She might be my first pick.
I was going to say, who's higher?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think she's number 1.
Yeah.
What she did at UCLA, what she did at the international level.
You know, then Coach I says, hey, why don't you concentrate on hitting now instead of pitching, or, you do, she does that and does that great. So.
And it's because of what she was able to do, not only pitch, but play third, hit.
Yeah, she had 93 wins as a pitcher, hit 381 as a hitter. Daniel Gibson Horton strikes out. Montana Fouts pitching with a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. He's now set down 4 in a row. Well, 2 down for the left fielder, Corby Otis. Corby's line to right, fly to center. Picked up a couple of hits in game 1 today, which was a wild one. 14-12 Talons over the Blaze after the Blaze came back from 11 runs down to tie the game at 12.
Was that today? That happened today?
Believe it or not, that did happen during this same 24-hour period that we have been called Saturday, June 14th.
I'm still not over that game.
It may take a while.
Yeah.
2-2. Two o'clock Eastern time tomorrow for the finale of this 3-game series between the Talons and Blaze. Hit sharply through the hole and into left field. All right, Corby Otis is a rookie. She's had some really good plate appearances.
Great defense out in left field. And even her plate appearances where maybe she hasn't gotten on base, she's seen full counts. She's had great foul balls. I know we were talking about majors the last half inning. Corby Otis is a biology major, and she was the SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year, so she has us beat by a long mile.
What was the major in again?
Biology.
Way out of my league.
We can write a story about her, though.
She's been a great story. Graduated cum laude from Florida just last month. You know, Corby was a competitive go-kart racer growing up. A lot of things going on. Wave and a miss. Harding batting here with 2 outs. Haley came in as a pinch hitter in the 3rd for Edwards, popped to short, so this is her 2nd at bat. Seven runs, 7 hits for the Talons, 4 runs, 5 hits for the Blaze. Let's try to get through the 5th here. Off the plate away.
Yeah, it just hasn't been a strike all day. That pitch right there.
So it brings a 3-2 pitch to Kaylee Harding. Goes up after that rise ball and in foul territory near the dugout. Caught by Vidales to retire the side. A runner left on by the Blaze. We have finished 5 here in game 2 of the day for Chattanooga. It's a 3-run lead for the Talons. Most of the scoring in this game came early. First inning, Talons scored 4 times. 2 on a base hit by Flippen, then the 3-run home run for the Blaze. Daniel Gibson-Horton in the bottom half. Since then, 7 runs, 7 total hits for the Talons, 4 runs, 5 hits for the Blaze. As Talons come to bat in the top of the 6th inning here in Chattanooga. Dana Sorensen there, the Blaze general manager we mentioned.
The Stanford greats. Played in a couple of Women's College World Series. Also played in the NPF back in the day, so has that professional experience, knows what it's like to play, you know, at this level. And I think it's really important to have a couple of not only coaches but GMs who know what it takes to play professional softball and know what everybody has been working for and dreaming for and striving for to get to this league with the AUSL.
It's going to be a lot of fun watching the next basically 2 months here, where things finish up with the title series in Tuscaloosa. So after a Romero ground out, it's Victoria Hayward at the plate, who's grounded out twice. You know, this Athletes Unlimited experience, Victoria Hayward will always hold a special place. She was the first player to sign with Athletes Unlimited back in 2017. Well, that could have been dangerous there, but Leach able to take the throw and get out of the way just as Hayward was crossing the back.
Yeah, Victoria announcing after this season she will retire, is right now the head coach at Nevada. Nice play there defensively. Glad there was no collision. But I'm sure that she wanted to at least get 1 season with AUSL. Talked about being a part of Athletes Unlimited, the individual-based league, which will now be the All-Star Series come August.
Strike to Sacco. Yeah, Hayward took over as the head coach at Nevada late May of 2024, so went just through the 2025 season. Her first full season as the head coach in Reno.
Not only was she head coach, but she was Mountain West Coach of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Had been an assistant at Washington and San Diego State. Prior to that, of course, played at Washington. Played on that bronze medal Canadian Olympic team. 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Lindley. It's the inside part. DeSacco's 2 for 3 in this game. After a couple of hits in game 1. And the strikeout retires the side. First K in this outing for Limley, who's now retired 4 in a row. 10 pitch inning there for Limley. Back here in Chattanooga, we're chatting about Victoria Hayward, the head coach at the University of Nevada for the Talons. But on the flip side, for the Blades, they got 7 players that are on coaching staffs. So many we've got to show you in 2 pages here. Briggs, Harding, GAs, then Aubrey Leach, Kaylani, Hope Trautwein, Valdespino, an assistant at Houston.
That's a lot.
A lot of busy pros.
I'm sure that dugout is just full of knowledge. I mean, my goodness. You have head coach Elisa Goller coaching a bunch of other coaches.
Yeah. Said she's the head coach of Western Illinois. High fly, foul ground. Romero gave it a pretty good chase and look. Got over there near the end of the dugout. There's Coach Goller, 5-year head coach of Western Illinois. Ball and 2 strikes on Urtez. He says struck out and grounded to short. Last of the 6, Blaze down 3. Montana Fouts has gone the distance so far here. And on the fly. Squeezed there by Aguilar. Yes, there is one out, Allie. .128 pitches for Montana Fouts.
That's a big workload.
That is a very big workload.
He's only had 1 3-up, 3-down inning, and that was in the second.
Yeah, that's just this game here. She did pitch in the first game. You can add another 11 pitches to that she threw in relief in game 1 to close it out.
That's a good point. Megan Faremo is kind of just hanging out in the bullpen, starting to get loose a little bit for the Talons. Kind of watching, just in case.
Lurking. On the right field side, getting out of play. Faremo through 3 1/3 innings in the first game. Came back from the rain delay and wasn't quite as effective post-rain delay as she was prior. That is strike 3 on a gold. Five Ks for Montana Fouts.
She's been working her curve to both sides of the plate. Talked a lot about her rise ball. No off speed. Everything has been hard. Good velocity, 68, 69 miles an hour.
Andrews fouled back. Did we see Montana throw one changeup early in the game?
Yeah, she's attempted a couple.
All right, not many.
No.
2 outs here in the last of the 6th. 3-run lead. The Talons, who won the first game today, 14-12. Andrews takes up high.
I like the idea of Montana going up in the zone against Aaliyah Andrews, who has made a living today on the ground using her short game. Trying to get her in the air, neutralize her speed.
Quickly to third base, and Romero snags it and throws her out. And Fouts sets him down in order in a 6. We're going to head to the 7th in Chattanooga. The Talons up 3. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is fueled by Gatorade. Beautiful country here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Game 2 of the day, going to the 7th inning, 3-run lead for the Talons. There is more AUSL coming up tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. Volts and Bandits from Sulphur, Louisiana. Broadcast information really on any of the AUSL games. You can visit theausl.com, but I will let you in on the fact that MLB Network will carry Volts Bandits tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. Lim Lee facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters here. We've got a Bandits fan. MLB Network, ma'am, 7:30 tonight Eastern. We'll get you home.
Yeah, she's
to
repping.
watch that. Unless something crazy happens in this inning, which game 1 is any indication, probably something crazy will happen. Palacios leading off. Singleton scored in the first in this game. Wow. Turned on that one, hit it a mile out of the park, but foul. Almost to the train tracks.
Yeah, Palacio so strong, quick hands. Lee, see if she can use that pitch, that long strike, set up for something away. Looked like she was going to her curve, just missed down in the zone.
Got in on her, but hits it hard into left field on one bounce. Carbiotis and a base hit for Palacios, her second of the game.
That ball was smoked. See where Kowalik is set up and see where that pitch ends up on the inner half. And Palacios so strong.
She had some very clean swings. And at bat. Ball one is high to Aguilar. By the way, we mentioned that with our great audio and crowd mics, You can hear the nearby trains. You can hear different things going on. You can definitely hear Emma Limley. Who gives us her own audio after every pitch. And she puts everything she has into it.
Got to talk to her a little bit last weekend. Eric Collins and I ran into her and her family at dinner after one of the games, and I don't know how we got to talking about her grunting, but we somehow got there. You're with Eric. Anything is possible. And, you know, she was talking about how she doesn't even realize that she does it. It's just one of those things where you've done it for so long and you don't know that it's coming out of you. She's going at 100% every single pitch. I will notice, though, she does not grunt on her changeup.
I was just going to say that. You didn't hear that right there.
I grunted a little bit.
On every pitch, or just
That's a good
certain
question.
ones?
I don't know. I don't think there's
Again, like Limley, you don't consciously think about that when you're pitching. Well, the Talons know they're going to take at least a 3-run lead to the bottom of the 7th, and they have the first 2 on here in the top half. Tori Vidales coming up.
I'm telling you, this is a bat that has been very quiet.
I was going to say, this is one that seems destined to break out. This could be the spot. For 3 today in this game. It's 1 for 4. The walk in the earlier game.
I like that spot. That needs to be a strike. It just hasn't been there. It's for both sides.
Alice hit 65 home runs in her 4 years at Texas A&M. Now it's 3-0. All right, 3 balls and a strike, 2 on, nobody out. Knowing the hitter that Tori Vidales is, he's looking for something to gear it up to hack right here. If it's in the zone. Puts it to third. Step out. First double play. Hit it hard, but Anna Gold, who's defended her position so well, in the right spot to start a 5-3 twin killing.
Yeah, perfect positioning for Anna Gold, but watch how she throws as she's stepping on third base. That is what it's all about. Right here, steps and throws at the same time.
And because of that, it wasn't even close.
Not even close. Has all the time in the world.
Brings up Hannah Flippen. And a 2-run single to really get things rolling on a 4-run first for the Talons. You've been wanting that pitch all day, I know. I can see it in your face.
I want it. I want it for both Emma and Montana.
Limley's 2-1. Little excuse me swing that looked like it might spin fair, but then it took a right turn. Pull inside. Talons scored 14 runs in the first game and still left 11 runners on base. They've scored 7 in this game. We've stranded 3 so far, and have Aguilar out at second with 2 outs and a 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Gonna wave her around. Here comes the throw from Klingler to the plate, a little bit late. Flippen picks up an RBI, her third of the game. That brings in Aguilar and gives a little more breathing room to the Talons. They're now up by 4. Slow walk out to the plate, or out from the plate, and they're gonna. Yep.
That play is under video review.
Well, it's the 7th inning.
Yep.
You got a challenge left.
You got to use it.
You roll the dice. Let's see what we see here. Does she leave early or before the ball leaves the hand?
Oh.
I think she might have.
Yeah, she did. Right there. Wow. Okay, this is why you do it.
Is that indisputable?
No, I think she's out.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's indisputable.
Yeah.
You think
yeah,
that she left early?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. Then that would be enough to overturn the call. Take the run off the board.
That's why you challenge.
And send us to the bottom of the 7th.
I'm going to pencil it in.
Ooh, you're already taking a risk. Well, will it be 8-4 and we continue to play in the top of the 7th, or 7-4 and go into the bottom half?
After video review, the call has been changed. The runner left early. The third inning. It's the second challenge, first challenge of the game.
I think we got the gist of that. So she left early, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the 7th. So it's still a 7-4 game. And last chance for the Blaze. Top of the order coming up. Down 3.
Really gritty outing from Montana Fouts. Gave up 3 runs in the first, 1 in the third, but really settled down, limited some big innings, 5 strikeouts. Her offense has had her back, which has allowed her to pitch a little bit more freely as this game progressed. And pitch count was getting a little high. We're talking about her heavy workload, a lot of full counts, but able to get it done. 136 pitches, and then you think about she pitched the 7th inning of our game earlier for this one, and tossing the ball over to Megan Faremo. Comes in for Montana, kind of reverse what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what we're seeing here. 3 1/3 innings and a start for Faremo in the earlier game.
Yeah, these are the aces for the Talons, Montana and Megan.
Well, we'll see if the leaving early call adds more drama to this. Instead of an 8-4 game and Talons still batting, it's 7-4. Faremo in, top of the order up. Leach jumping on the first pitch and fouls it back. Just shy of 100 pitches in the earlier game. Leach 1 for 3. Two hits on the day as she had a hit in a couple of at-bats in game 1. Leach started to square and takes a ball.
So with the change of Megan Framo.
Palacios.
Yep.
Taking over behind the plate.
We have the Alabama battery, and now we have the UCLA battery.
Yeah. Two balls, two strikes. Leach leading off. Last of the 7th. Down 3 for the Blaze. That was a rise coming in almost at 70 miles per hour. 3-2 pitch to Leach leading off. And there's ball 4. A start for the Blaze here to begin the home half of the 7th. Kowalik has scored a couple of times after reaching on a walk and a fielder's choice. Squares and takes up high. Kowalik, we talked about her 5 years at Kentucky, was a hit machine. Her career batting average at Kentucky was .424. Needless to say, that's the all-time best career batting average.
I think that'll stand for a long time.
Yes.
All-time leader in hits, triples.
Is he wearing Kentucky blue? Two balls and a strike. Yeah. We have some Wildcat fans here sitting with the Bandit fan. Ooh, got the high strike call there. That's a big call. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2.
I'm wondering if this was a called strike or if it was on her attempt. I think it's called.
That's a full count. Well, Kowalik reaches here. Put the first 2 runners on. Suddenly the drama now level kicks up another notch. Just guides it into left. Allchin right there. Jalen Allchin, who came in at left field last inning, making the play, and Sacco, who was in left, moved over to center. Here's Klingler. Hits one towards center field, and ranging back, Sacco this time.
Those 2 outs are huge. I mean, if you're Blaze, this is where you want to be in your lineup with Klingler and Gibson Horton up. Both have homered today.
Romero was potentially one more pitch out of the zone away from having to face Klingler at the plate with nobody out as the tying run. And now, Blaze are down to their final out. The tying run in the on-deck circle, Danielle Gibson Horton, 3-run homer in the first. That really was the big blow that the Blaze got off Montana Fouts, and that was very early in the game, that 3-run shot from Gibson. Don't forget, Game 3 from here in Chattanooga tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern time. anticipated pitching matchup of Raylene Chafin, Alicia Ocasio. Romero has the Blaze down to their final strike.
I would go right back to that back door. I'm not going upstairs at all. I'm going knee height, back door away from Danielle Gibson Horton.
Ooh.
That's it.
Just off the outside edge. Montana's like that. So close. Blaze in danger of falling to a 1-4 start. That ball's hit hard, right field, and over the fence, home run. Second of the game for Danielle Gibson Horton, who's now knocked in 5, and it's a 1-run game. You didn't think the Blaze were going to go easy into that good night, did you? It is 7-6, and now that challenge at the top of the inning looks even bigger.
Oh, man. So after setting up Danielle Gibson Horton on the outside part of the plate, Megan Framo doesn't get the called strike. She goes in, and Gibson Horton is all over it. 2-run shot. Yeah, it's just, that's how this game is. I also am thinking about that solo shot from Ali Aguilar.
So tying run at the plate for the Blaze. A 2-homer game for Danielle Gibson Horton. A 3-run shot off Fouts, and now a 2-run homer off Framo. Otis takes a strike on the outside corner. And once again, Blaze down to their final strike.
You have to love the fight from this team. They are just right there.
Just foul past third. A Blaze team that were down 11 runs in the first game came back and tied it, though they did lose by 2. Battling again late here in the final game of the day. Otis 1 for 3. Base hit last time up. Hit a ball hard in the first, but lined out to right. Check, did he? Did she? Nope. Nope.
I think that's a good move.
John Schaefer, the he at first base, said no swing.
Framo going to the change. Ooh, actually, I don't know. Here's the angle. Oh, yeah, that's
She went. Yeah, that should have ended the game there.
I would go to it again.
It's a 2-2 count. Well, Coach Goler, she wanted to challenge a check swing here.
I'm not sure what she's asking here.
Or just asking the umpires. I mean, it went to the first base umpire. He's, in theory, had the best look at it. I don't think the umpire at third's going to overrule him.
Well, she's not checking on her own team, that's for sure.
Yeah, true. What could be the subject here? Now they want to converge again here. Any clue what this could be about?
None.
I don't either.
Did Palacios throw the ball down to first base? That's the only thing I can think of. I don't think she did.
She
but
did,
I'm not really
I think.
trusting my
I believe
memory at
she
this
did,
point.
yes.
Well, then that would be it. Or there would be a ball on the batter.
Wow. Just when you couldn't think things couldn't get even a little stranger here in Chattanooga today. Is she questioning the count?
Yeah, 100%. Here we go. Give us a little something.
This is an umpire's challenge. We're reviewing the count prior to the call on the field.
Okay. So she thinks it should be a 3-2 count, I believe. What else could it be?
Well, the check swing would have been ball 3. No, the check swing would have been ball 2, right? Mark, my brain is mush.
Well, see, yeah.
I think the check swing would have been ball 2, and then Palacios threw it down. So now Elisa Goler's thinking that the count should be full. It should be a full count.
You know, it's been a long day for everybody involved, teams, fans.
We've been calling
working
softball
crews.
for over
Yes.
7 hours here. I think it should be full count, the more I think about it. I mean, Palacios throws down to first, that's a ball.
So we obviously have a record.
The count prior to the pitch was 1 ball and 2 strikes. The check swing made it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Throwing to an unoccupied base is a ball 3, so it'll be 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Wow, okay.
And Elisa's like, why did that take so long?
All right, so let's go back here. Now,
So this was the 1-2 count. The check swing, even though we thought that she did swing, it was ruled she did not swing. And then right there you see Palacios throw the ball down. She's thinking it's strike 3.
yeah, but she's thinking perhaps it skipped. It didn't. And she needs to throw to first to complete the strikeout. So 3-2 pitch is fouled. You know, who can blame Palacios if you're thinking the umpire may think this ball skipped and I've got to get it to first? Wow.
All right, here we go.
Just when you think you've seen it all. And that is ball 4. The potential tying run is on base. The potential winning run will be at the plate for the Blaze. And Taylor Edwards is going to re-enter and bat here. Are strange things just following us around, or am I being paranoid?
This is a little bit of everything today for sure.
All right, here's Taylor Edwards. Ball 1 called inside.
I think I would take until I get a strike here if I was Taylor Edwards. Kind of work the zone. Make Framo throw some pitches.
Back into the screen. That's off the screen. The lone at bat in this game came in the first against Fouts when she was called out on strikes. Well, once again. Blaze down to their final strike. This whole twist and turn really started in the top of the inning with the challenge. The runner leaving second early took a run off the board from the Talons. Daniel Gibson's second homer of the game has made it a one-run game. And that's corked foul.
Thinking change here. That's 3 straight foul balls from Taylor Edwards on both sides of the field. You've got a couple of pitches to play with if you're for Ramo. I'm going low and slow.
.68 off the outside corner. 2-2.
Going to the curve. Is the ball out? Good take. Tough take.
To third base. Romero to first, and the game's over. They made it exciting once again. The Blaze did, but they fall just short. Montana Fouts picks up the win, and the Talons hold on and beat the Blaze 7-6 and sweep 2 games today.
Well, it took over 7 hours, but 2 games, 1 rain delay, and 2 wins for the Talons. Montana Fouts starts it, Megan Framo finishes, and for the Blaze, they've got to be proud of their fight. They have made it so interesting for us and entertaining, but they are right there. I love the comeback, but ultimately the Talons on top.
Now the Blaze fall to 1-4. The Talons get over 500 for the first time now at 3 wins, 2 losses. And Montana Fouts picks up the victory. 2 games today in Chattanooga. Talons won the first game 14-12. They win the second game by a run 7-6. Don't forget, Athletes Unlimited Softball continuing in a short time, 7:30 Eastern. The Bandits versus the Bolts on MLB Network. For Kinsey Fowler, our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. Talons take 2 in Chattanooga. See you tomorrow.